I'm going to make a French toast so big that you can't even fit it in a frying pan. Hi everyone, it's Tasha. Welcome to another Wednesday recipe video. And today we are going to deal with this, leftover Pandoro. Timestamps are down below and in the description if you want to skip the initial blah blah, but stick around if you want to hear a little bit about what we're making first. I can't be the only one 2 weeks into the new year and still with leftover Pandoro or panettone. And I have actually made French toast for leftover panettone before, so I'll link that recipe now. But what to do with this, because this is gorgeous. Look at the star shape. I don't actually know if you can see it because it's blocking my view, it's so big. Correct me if I'm wrong, Italians out there, but you can slice it 2 ways usually. This way, like wedges, or that way like stars, and usually when you slice it like a star, you can angle each slice a little bit odds to each other so it ends up looking like a Christmas tree and you wedge some cream in between. I've had way too much food for Christmas and the New Year, so I've just been slowly making my way through it and I've been slicing it like this because it's so pretty. But as you can see, I still have a lot left. So I'm going to do what I usually do with this kind of thing when it's leftover, and I'm going to French toast it, but I have one problem. I don't have a frying pan physically big enough to make French toast with this thing. Technically I could, it would mean slicing it into wedges, but where's the fun in that? I want a big old star-shaped French toast. I've seen other people do it, and my brain can't compute why, because I'm down to the bottom of this now. The bottom is the widest part. I literally can't find a frying pan that big, and I'm not just going to go out and buy a frying pan just to make giant French toast. So I'm going to stick it in the oven. What is French toast really? It's basically a pan-fried bread pudding. So we're going to cook it exactly like that. And you could just leave it there, but I really want to play with my blowtorch today. And I'm going to caramelize the top brulee style. You don't have to do it, and if you don't own a thingy, cook's blowtorch, you can pop it under the grill instead to caramelize the sugar, or you don't have to at all. You can just eat it as it is, maybe dust some icing sugar over the top, drizzle some syrup. It's up to you, it's your French toast party. So with all that said, let's go to the kitchen and see how it's done. Now obviously the first thing you need is a nice thick slice of Pandoro. And when I say thick, I mean several centimeters thick. Let me bring you down here and show you actually. This thick, look at that. Okay, hands for scale, that much. Yep, no exact science to it, it's just thick. And if it's a teeny tiny bit stale and dry, even better, because we need it to be able to absorb our egg mixture. Speaking of eggs, I have 2 here. I'm going to add 90 milliliters of milk and about a teaspoonful of vanilla extract. Usually when I make a French toast, I add a little bit of sugar in at this stage, but because the Pandoro is already quite sweet, no extra sugar. Let's give this a good old beat up. Excellent, now let's soak some Pandoro. Now this thing is so big, I'm actually having to use a roasting tray to soak mine. So use whatever you can, a nice deep dish. I'm going to pour eggs mixture straight in. Don't worry if it's still a little bit uneven, does not matter at all. And we're going to take our Pandoro fat slice and dunk it on both sides. Just like that. Give both sides a really good dunking. And now we're basically going to cover this with some cling film and pop it in the fridge overnight to soak. If you can find a shorter tin, by the way, even better, because this is a little bit wide, so it's going to have to work extra hard to absorb all of this. Is that a shell? That is some eggshell. How terrible of me. Good thing I caught it. You didn't see anything. Anyway, yes, if you find a shorter vessel to put your Pandoro in, even better, because then it will absorb the liquid mixture a little bit more easily because it's a little bit more gathered, but this will do, this isn't bad. Okay, I will bid you a good night and see you in the morning. Good morning, it's time to make some Pandoro French toast. So I'm going to preheat the oven to 180 degrees C. Let's take a look at our Pandoro, and it is beautifully soaked up all of that egg mixture. Over here I just have a nice lined baking tray. This is my reusable non-stick baking parchment, and I'm just going to do a scoop and hope this doesn't fall apart because this is very soft. That wasn't too bad. This is a little misshapen though. Let's zhuzh it up a bit. I am in fact going to take the rest of this egg mixture and drizzle it over because I think it can take it. And now I'm going to bake this until it's golden and puffy, so about 30 minutes. I'll see you then. There we are, that was actually more like 20 minutes, so a lot faster. Anyway, we're going to let this cool down for about 5 to 10 minutes because it is red hot. It will collapse a little bit in the middle because the egg-soaked bread mixture is quite dense, so it will collapse in on itself. But that is absolutely fine, so we'll see you when it's a bit cooler to handle. Now this next part I'm going to do is totally optional, but I want to play it with my cook's blowtorch. So we're going to sprinkle some sugar over the top and caramelise it brulee style. However, we have a bit of an issue with the dip. If I sprinkle the sugar on now, it's just going to collect in the middle. So what I'm going to do to make it sticky is I'm going to brush a little bit of water on. And no, it's not going to make it soggy. Don't worry. It's just going to help the sugar stick. And this water will then evaporate off. Just don't put too much water on it. Let's get our sugar. Just about a teaspoonful will do. And now we're going to go in and brulee. This is definitely the biggest French toast I've ever made. Look at it! So thick and the lovely glossy caramel. Listen to this. That custardy interior looks so good. This is the most ridiculous breakfast I've ever made. Look at the size of it, it's as big as my head. Look at how fluffy it is on the inside as well. Anyway, cheers. That is some good French toast. Because the Pandoro itself is already enriched with butter and sugar, it really didn't need that extra sugar at all. Remember, the Pandoro itself is already enriched with butter and sugar, so when soaked in the egg mixture, it really is like a bread pudding, especially because we've baked it instead of fried it. So there you go, baked Pandoro French toast, or giant baked French toast. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's recipe video and I hope you'll join me next Wednesday for my next one. Get the full written recipe on my blog tashcakes.com, follow me on Instagram, I'm tashcakes.tastes, and find me on TikTok too. I'm tashcakes there too, but my handle is food in slow motion. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more, give this video a like if you'd like to help other people find it, comment down below if you'd like me to make anything in particular, and I'll see you all next time. Be good, be nice, and have a good week. And after this, I still have about this much of Pandoro left.